Yeah, I mean, it's all learning, and obviously, you don't want that to happen as a quarterback, but, our defensive line has been very physical, and they've done a great job of creating turnovers, getting tip passes, all OTAs, and obviously yesterday in minicamp. And it's been great. It helps you as a quarterback to find throwing lanes and do different things and have to throw around guys. But, as well as they can't hit us or rush anything, so they're doing a great job of sitting back and jumping. But it helps, because that happens in games, and you get guys that get their hand on the football. And as a quarterback, you go back and watch it and learn, okay, I got to get around on this one or maybe change my arm angle. And a guy I've watched, do that a lot is Drew Brees and studying his film, the way he moves, around in the pocket and finds different throwing angles. But, our defense played great yesterday, created a lot of turnovers and tip passes, interceptions, different things like that. So as an offense, you take that as, okay, I got to learn from this day and come back and improve.
Cody, did it mean anything to you when this team really invested in the middle of the offensive line?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was awesome, to see that some of the guys we got in the offseason with JC and Kevin and obviously Joel, sticking here, and it's been great to have that.
Wake up and say, okay, I feel safer. This year should be better.
Well, I mean, our offensive line, obviously those guys compete every day and work hard, but it's exciting, when you get guys that have played in the league for a while and have that, veteran mentality. But you got guys here too, Greco and obviously Joe Thomas is one of the best to ever play the position. But you have guys that have been here for a while too, and we're still, learning with the younger guys with Drango and some of those guys, Sean Coleman. So I think we have a really, healthy mix of vets and younger guys. But it's exciting, yeah, when you get guys that play at a high level and can compete and, our impact players on the offensive line, like the guys we got in the offseason, as well as the guys that are already here, it's exciting, especially for a quarterback.
Cody, how hard is it to suppress the quarterback competition that that's going on? I know you guys all want to make each other better, but when you're out there going throw for throw, do those things come forward?
I mean, obviously you're competing for a spot, but at the same time, the only way to really do that and be successful at that is invest in the offense, to make plays happen and work on plays. And whether it's, even checking to a right run play, every time is something that's important. But at the end of the day, you're focused on offense as a whole and as a unit. And whether you're in with the ones, twos, and wherever the rotation gets mixed up in, when you get those opportunities, those chances in there, you want to make the most of every play. Like I said, whether it's a pass, run, or whatever it may be. But it's exciting. You get a chance to compete and work with these other guys and learn from them as well, and continue to come out here and just try to put everything you can on tape and continue to work. And obviously going into this offseason, learn a ton of things from OTAs and now minicamp. Going into this summer is to be able to work on that and fix that, so when you come back to training camp, everything is right where you want it to be.
Since this is the last time we'll talk to you before training camp, how would you summarize where you are as a quarterback and heading into camp?
Yeah, I mean, from last year specifically, way ahead of mentally as well, and physically too, working out and training. But just having that second year, coming in here and knowing what to expect and knowing what to work on, and OTAs, went great, and guys got to compete and we improved and learned from each other. And I think the coolest part too is how well our defense is playing. Also, it really does, help you out as a quarterback and as an offense. But I think for me, mentally and everything is night and day, just from knowing what to expect and coming in prepared. But yeah, there's still tons of things to work on this offseason and continue to improve on, and get your best foot forward going into training camp.
What will you do between now and the start of training camp? Where will you train? Who will you be with?
Yeah, I'll be back in California working with Adam Dato and Tom House and their group, and working out at Proactive Sports Performance, where I train pre-draft and in the offseason. But it really is a commitment again. It's almost like a mini offseason again. You get these 5 weeks and getting another meal plan from Katie to keep up with. But I wish that got way bigger than I thought it would, but it was kind of a cool story. Funny people reaching out to me about that, but yeah, I mean, just sticking to the program and continue to work and work hard, and and not look at it as an off season or a break, but a chance to get better and come back ready to go.
Will you work with anybody like Derek Carr out there at all a little bit, or any other?
No, Derek probably be in either Bakersfield or stay in Oakland, but hopefully get a chance to talk to him, reach out to those guys. I know, talk to some of the receivers. Kenny will be out in LA, get to work with him. I think Corey's going to come out and stay with me for a couple of days, or stay with us and throw. And some other guys out there get to throw with Edelman, another guy that'll be out there. So just receivers coming in and out of there, and you get a chance to work with these different guys. But obviously most important is getting a chance to work with our guys. But it's awesome, getting away from everything and being able to focus on football and really compete.
Cody, when you're competing for a quarterback position, is it easier or harder to be at the top of the depth chart, or to kind of, be in the middle of the pack?
Yeah, I think, it's, for me, I don't think of it that way in the sense of where I'm at. We've been rotating, obviously, all OTAs in camp here, and getting, mix and match with different wideouts or linemen or different stuff like that. But the biggest thing is just when you're in there, no matter what group you're in, or no matter where you're at, is go in there and compete. And you get those opportunities and get those chances. Whether it's first group, second group, third group, to go out there and make plays. And that's and as you saw last year, you don't know who's going to be in there. Injuries happen, different things happen, so you want to work with everybody on the roster and guys in there that you might not work with the whole ton. You want to work with extras. So as quarterback position, whoever you're in there with, wherever you're at, it should flow the same. No matter what unit it is or where you're at in the depth chart.
You've been the first guy out there all offseason. Do you expect to be number one when we come back to training camp, and how important is that to you?
That's obviously Coach Jackson's decision for that, but for me, it's like I said, wherever I'm at and wherever I get going, whether it's first time, second time, third time, you go in there and compete, and you continue to make plays, and it really is important. And it seems like where you go in and different things like that. But there's always guys rotating in. Whether it's the first group, we might have Kenny and Corey out there at one point, or you come out again and there's Rashard and Ricardo. It's different like that, but. For me, it's the same mentality I've had the whole time. Every time I'm in there, I'm going to make the most of the opportunity and, learn from the film and continue to grow and improve.
What's missing right now for your? What do you have to get better at before you get to training camp if you do want to win this job?
Everything, everything. That's really what it comes down to is how can you improve your game in every aspect, mentally and studying defenses, watching defenses, and obviously continue to watch Coach Williams' defense and learn from that going into camp. But start watching Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and Baltimore and different stuff like. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. But you look forward into season too. Is you want to take that next step and continue to learn. But this offseason, same thing as last offseason. Or these past 4 months is continue to work strength and conditioning, mobility, and work with Tom House and them and continue to improve every aspect of the game and just countless hours of film study and everything. So you come back in the fall or you come back to camp ready to go.
Do you know if the other Browns quarterbacks will be out there working with Tom House along with you, like Brock and Deshaun?
I have no idea. I know. I don't actually. We haven't really talked about it a whole ton. I think Deshaun might be out there a little bit. Not sure about Brock and Kevin and them, but if they are, then it'll be great. Get to work together again and keep competing. But I'm not too sure.
When Hugh is asked about what he's looking for in his quarterback, he always says one of the first things is no turnovers, ball security, no turnovers. Do you feel that's your ace up your sleeve and improve that your rookie year?
Yeah, I've always tried to be smart with the football and protect the football. But at the same time, it really got a chance in OTAs to throw some deep passes and take some shots down the field. And James Boyce made a great play on the ball, and then the other day. Another one was Leslie, throwing it up there to him and getting them a chance to go down there and get it. Because you got to take some of those shots, and that's something that I didn't do enough last year. Was trying to be almost too careful with the football. But at the same time, you have to protect it. You can't force football. You got to know when if the shot's there to take a chance on it or to check it down and move on. But that's always been a big thing for me. And Coach Hugh always says, if you turn the ball over consistently, you can't play the quarterback for me. And that's true really with any team or any position, at the quarterback level. But For me, it's always been be smart with football and do everything you can to keep a drive going and really eliminate forcing the football or trying to do something extra that's not there.
Cody, obviously all the quarterbacks have to be ready. You mentioned that, but given what you guys did on the offensive line this offseason, do you expect there will be fewer quarterback injuries this season?
I can't predict injuries. Things happen in sports all the time. Injuries happen. But obviously, like I said earlier, the offensive line is looking great right now, and the improvements we got there, and guys that we brought in, and the younger guys are starting to learn, and they're really improved as well. So, they take it personal. It's not like the quarterback get hit, and that's always been their mentality. And especially this year, we've had a ton of protection meetings, getting to sit down with them and go over it. But I can't. Injuries happen, in all sorts of ways. But we feel great about the offensive line and as a team, and especially the quarterback position is. We got some guys there to compete and really work hard.
Cody, one of the things that Hugh said a few weeks ago is that you had earned the right to start camp as the starter. A, what did that do for you? And B, what have you earned? What did you prove last year that you've earned right now?
Like I said before, it's exciting, to come out there and get a chance to go first and do different things like that. But, we've all rotated throughout camp and everything. But, it's been exciting to go out there and compete with the guys and going out there with the ones and throwing to some of those guys. But at the same time, you get a chance to work with everyone. But for me, it's always been a competition no matter where I'm going out there first or last or whatever it may be. it's always competition. You're always competing. You're always trying to do everything you can, and even some practices. You get so very few opportunities when you're rotating so much. But I think last year for me was getting thrown in there and having a chance to start a couple games and know the offense and really go through it and see live game action, and then working this offseason. I think helped me a lot too. So. Like I said, I want to continue to improve that. Once we get this next break for the next 5 weeks.
Do you agree that you should be the starter unless someone's lights out?
Yeah, I mean that's obviously not my decision. That's Coach Jackson's decision. But the only thing I can do is continue to compete and put everything I can on tape and really work hard this offseason and come back ready to go in camp. And that's when things obviously will get ramped up a little bit going into preseason as well. So for me, it's just competition every day.
Hey Cody, every time Brock talks to us, he says he wants to be the starter. Sean Kaiser, we saw, like you're saying, rotating. He got a bunch of first-team reps along with you yesterday. As this goes on, the off-season unfolds, do you feel more intensity in the competition, or are you guys still really loose, or do you sense that it's kind of getting turned up?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to improve that room as a whole, as quarterback, and obviously that'll transition over to the offense. But yeah, I mean, we all know we're competing against each other. It's at any level. You're always competing for a starting spot. But we're leaning on one another and helping each other out and learning from someone's mistake or something they did well. We're learning from each other, but at the end of the day, it's competition. And that's why you play the game is compete and come out here and get a chance to play. But it's been exciting. Guys have made some really good throws and we've gone back and forth and had a great time competing. And that's something obviously you want to continue to improve on this offseason going to camp.
Is there anything lost in not having an established #1 quarterback? You look at like Peyton Manning; he took every snap. So is there anything lost in not having, this is our guy?
No, I mean, I've been in numerous quarterback situations at USC for 2 years straight and different opportunities is you get a chance to compete for a starting spot. And then that's really everywhere on the field. Nothing's ever really solidified, and obviously some exceptions, Joe Thomas or guys that have been around and really proved themselves in this league. But especially the quarterback position as much as any is that, you're always competing for that spot, whether you've been playing for a couple of years or whether it's your first, second year, you're always competing. And it comes down to Coach Jackson's decision who's going to be the guy going out there. But you want to do everything you can, to solidify that spot.
How often does SC Notre Dame come up to you and Deshaun?
Oh, all the time.
Every day.
Because Coach Jackson was at SC for a while too,
Right.
So we always mess with each other, give each other a hard time. But nothing personal. We beat them once, he beat me once, so we kind of both split even. Same thing with Kevin and Stanford and all that. So we have a good time.
Hey, you got a first-round pick, in this draft to throw to. What have you learned about Njoku?
Yeah.
What has impressed you about him?
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a stud. He's a good player. He's really knows the game well. He's learning still. Obviously, it's a new offense, and there's like any rookie, you're gonna make mistakes here and there, but he does it full speed. He learns from the mistakes, and he goes as hard as he can every play, and really does a great job attacking football and the speed and the size that he has, and him and Seth, having those guys and has been great. Guys to throw to and guys to work with, but yeah, David's been really impressive. And he continues to impress each day and come out and have that mentality that he wants to work and get better.